Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lora Rolling and this is part 4 of the Santa Claus ornament tutorial. This is the Santa Claus ornament that we are making. He is so cute and festive. And today we're going to be doing the triangle called Santa's hat. If you haven't seen parts 1, 2, and 3, that's okay. You can do these out of order. I'll have them linked down below so you can go and watch those after you've watched this one. We just have a few materials to get ready, so let's get them listed and then we can get started. Let's go. So the beads that we're going to use today are Miyuki Delicas. I have opaque dark cranberry, chalk white, and silver lined gold. I'm just going to call this red, white, and gold. We're also going to be using some beading thread and a beading needle. I like to use the Eslon Fire in the color crystal, and I use 4-pound. You can also use 6-pound thread. I also like the size 10 beading needle, and you can use a size 10 or you can use a size 12. For my implements, I like to use my long nose pliers to hold on to my thread when I cut it, and then I cut it with a pair of scissors. And then in the very beginning, I actually end my tail using the fire method, and I'm going to show you how I do that today. Last but not least, we're going to need a 2.36 inch clear crafting ornament, and I find these in the 12-pack at my hobby store. I also have them available in my Etsy shop if you just want to buy one. We only need one of these, and we're not going to use it in today's video, but to complete the ornament you're going to need one of these, so you can find that in my Etsy shop. Alrighty, let's thread our needle with 3 feet of thread, and then we can get started. So I've threaded my needle with 3 feet of thread, and I'm going to pick up my first 3 beads. All 3 of them are red. Then I'm going to take those beads and pull them all the way down to the end of my thread, leaving about 6 inches for a tail. And then I'm going to tie a square knot. So I'm going to cross over and pull the tail through. And then I'm going to cross over again on the top and pull the tail through. So you should have what looks like a little snowman. Now I'm going to put my fingers in the bottom loop, and I'm going to tighten that top loop into a knot. Now we have our little tail right here. I'm going to melt it with a flame, and I'm not going to actually touch the flame to the thread. I'm just going to get super close. And it just turns the end into this teensy little knot. Now, keeping my fingers in the loop, I'm going to pull on the long thread and twist the loop until that little knot on the tail touches the long thread. Now I'm going to take my thumbnail and I'm going to pull that knot down to the 3 beads. And you have what looks like a little triangle of beads. That completes row number 1. What I'm going to do is, you'll see that the knot is right in the middle of those 2 beads. I'm going to actually try to shift it so that it's closer to the top bead. Okay, so now we get to start row number 2 by picking up 2 red beads, and we're not going to sew through the bead that's closest to the knot. We're going to sew through the bead that's furthest from the knot. And that makes it a little easier for these two new beads to sit right on top of those two beads. Okay, let's pick up two more red beads. And we're coming out of this bead. We want to sew through the next bead, making sure that they sit right on top. And now we can pick up two more red beads. Coming out of this bead, we're going to sew through the next bead, and we're going to sew through the bead after that. So we're sewing through two beads this time. And each time we sew through two beads, it means that we've completed that row and we're ready. We have stepped up and are ready to sew in the next row. So this is what you should have now. And we are ready to start row number 3. Let's pick up two red beads. And coming out of this bead, we're going to sew through the next bead. Making sure that they're sitting on top. Now let's pick up one red bead. We're coming out of this bead. We're going to skip the bead that's sitting inward, and we're going to sew through the bead that's sticking out. Now let's pick up two more red beads. And we're going to sew through the next. I turn my work as I go, making it easier for me to sew. I'm very right-handed. Alrighty, let's pick up one red bead. Skipping the inner bead, we're going to sew through the one that's sticking out. And now we can pick up two red beads and sew through the next. Our last bead in row 3 is one red bead. We're going to skip the inner bead, the one that's set in. We're going to sew through the next and the one right after that one too. So we're sewing through two beads, which means we're stepping up, and we are now ready for row number 4. Let's pick up two red beads and sew through the next. One red bead, and we're skipping the inner bead. Let's sew through the sticking out bead. Sorry, I have something in my way. Okay, let's pick up one red bead and sew through the sticking out bead. Okay, now we're at the corner. Let's pick up two red beads and sew through the next. One red bead and sew through the sticking out bead. One red bead and sew through the sticking out bead. If you notice, we're making a triangle with our beads, and each triangle has, or each point of the triangle has two beads. So we're at the corner. Let's add two red beads. Let's add one red. And one red. And now we're going to skip the inner bead, sew through the sticking out bead and the bead right next to it. So we're sewing through 2 beads. And now we are ready to start row number 5. Let's pick up 2 gold beads this time and sew through the next. One red, one red, one red, now we're at the corner. I'm going to turn it so it's easier for me to sew, and pick up 1 gold and 1 red. One red, one red, one red, at the corner we'll pick up 2 red beads. One red, one red, and our last bead in this row is 1 red. We're going to sew through 2 beads. And now we can start row number 6. Let's start with 2 gold beads. One gold, one red, one red, one red, now we're at the corner. Let's pick up 1 gold and 1 red. One red, one red, one red, one red, two red beads, I'm getting stuck on so many things today. I should clear off my table. Okay, I think I've got it under control. Let's pick up 1 red, one red, oh, and I'm almost out of screenshot too. I'm a mess today. One red, Our last bead in this row is 1 gold. And we'll sew through 2 beads. Oh, I only got through 1. And now sewing through the second one. Okay. Let's start. Let me see if I can shift this over. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but okay. I think I have my table under control. I don't know what's going on with me today. Okay. Starting row number 7, let's start with 2 gold beads. Some days are better than others, right? 1 gold. 1 gold. 1 gold. 1 red. 1 gold. At the corner, we'll pick up 1 gold and 1 red. One red, 1 red, 1 red, 1 red, 1 red, 2 red beads, 1 red, 1 red, 1 red, 1 gold, and 1 gold. Sewing through 2 beads. And that completes row 7. Now we are going to, this is actually the top of the triangle, so we are going to not pick up any beads. We're just going to sew down the next bead. And that gets us ready and in position to start row number 8. Let's pick up 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 red, 1 gold, 'We're at the corner. Let's pick up 1 gold and 1 red. 1 red. 1 red. 1 red. 1 red, 1 red, 1 1 red, 1 red and 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, one gold, and 1 gold. We're back to the top of the triangle. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the triangle over. And now we're going to be sewing down the opposite direction, right? So not adding any beads to the top. We're going to sew down the side, and this will begin row number 9. Pick up 1 gold bead. We're coming out of this bead up at the top. We're going to sew directly down right next to it. So that bead sets right next to that top bead that we were coming out of. Let's pick up 1 gold. 1 gold, 1 white bead, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, at the corner, let's pick up 2 gold beads, 1 red, 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 we're at the corner. Let's pick up 2 gold beads, 1 gold, 1 white, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, and 1 gold. Now we don't have a bead that we can sew through like this, so we're going to turn our needle and sew down the bead right next to where it's going to land. So just guide the bead so that it's sitting right next to the bead that we just sewed through. Okay, so we're coming out of this bead. What we're going to do is we're going to turn our thread around. So we're coming out of this top bead. We're going to sew down the next bead. We're not picking up any beads right now. We're just sewing through beads. Then we're going to change directions. We're coming out of this second bead. We're going to sew up the bead right next to it. Just like that. Then we're going to sew up the bead that we had initially sewed through. Oh, I hope that's not too confusing. Now we can sew down the bead that we just added, and now we are in position to start adding beads. So let's turn our triangle over. So the top is now up at the top, and we are coming out of this bead right here. So starting row number 10, let's start with one gold bead, one gold, one gold, one gold, one white, one white, one gold, we're at the corner. Let's pick up two gold beads, one red, 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 one red. At the corner, let's pick up two gold beads, one gold, one gold, one gold, one gold, one gold, one gold, and one gold. We're back up at the top of our triangle. We're going to turn our triangle over. We're coming out of this top bead right here. And we're going to start row number 11 with one white bead. And we're going to sew down this bead. One gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 white, 'We're at the corner. Let's pick up 2 gold beads, 1 gold, 1 red, 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 1 gold. At the corner, let's pick up 2 gold beads, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 white, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 white, 1 gold, and 1 gold. Now once again, we don't have a bead to sew through this way, so we're going to sew down the top bead, and we're going to make sure that our new bead fits right alongside it. And now we're going to turn our thread. So we're coming out of this middle top bead. We're going to sew down the middle bead right below it. Then we're going to switch directions. We're going to sew up the bead right on the side of that. So let's see if you can see where my thread is going. And then sew up that middle bead again on the top row. Now we're going to sew down the bead that we just added, and we're going to flip over our triangle. So now the top of our triangle is up on the top, and we're coming out of this bead right here. Now we get to start row number 12 with 1 gold bead, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 white, 1 white, 1 gold, 1 gold. At the corner, we'll pick up 2 gold beads, 1 gold, 1 red, 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 1 gold. At the corner, we'll pick up 2 gold beads, 1 gold, 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 and 1 gold. Now I'm going to flip it over again, and now we have our 12 rows of the Santa's hat. Now, if this is the first time that you've done a triangle with me, I add the connector beads so that we connect all our triangles together. And let's see if we can show you how that works. We're going to connect them like this. Actually, it's probably better if I show you this one, because that little white bead is part of the little pom-pom on Santa's hat. Well, in order to connect them, we need connector beads, right? So we are going to have connector beads on this right side, and we're going to have connector beads on the bottom, but we're not going to have any connector beads on the left side. So let's start by adding our connector beads down the right side. Let's pick up 1 gold bead, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 white, 1 gold, 1 gold, 1 gold. Now we are at the point or the corner, so we're going to cap that off and make it a point by just adding one gold bead. And now we're ready to add beads on the bottom, our connector beads. So let's start with one gold bead. One gold, one red, 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 one gold, one gold, we're at the corner again, so let's cap it off with one gold bead. And now we can end our thread. So the way that we do that, making sure that this bead is secure, we want to zigzag a little bit. So I'm going to, without picking up any more beads, I'm going to sew up the next 6 beads. Oh, I almost caught my thread. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I just caught 2 beads on that one, 5, and 6, and now we're going to zigzag, which will make this more secure so it won't get loose. So we're coming out of this bead, we're going to sew down the bead right next to it, and then up the bead right next to that one. I call that a zigzag, hiding our thread all together. You can't see our thread at all. Now I'm going to sew up the next bead and up the bead on top of that, and now I'm going to zigzag again. I'm going to go down the bead that's right next to the one I'm coming out of, and then I'm going to sew up the bead next to that one. Now I'm just going to sew up 2 more beads. 1, 2, and now I feel like this corner bead is super secure. It's not going to get loose. It's not going to fall out, and that's very important. So now we can cut the thread. So I'm going to take my long nose pliers, and I'm going to pick up my triangle, and I'm going to get as close to the bead as possible, and I'm going to cut it. Don't cut your bead though. That could be disastrous. Alrighty, we have completed our Santa's hat triangle. We just need 5 of these units, so go ahead and do this 4 more times, and I will see you in a second. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for being here with me today and beading along with me. Remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell button so you're notified when the next video comes out. I can't wait to see you there. Thanks for watching.